Hello, and welcome to my channel. Today, I want to do something that I haven't done before, but I wanted to give you guys an inside peek into the type of training I'm doing. I want to do more videos towards my own running, especially as I'm really ramping it up this summer. I've been trying to focus super hard on training, recovery, nutrition, all of the things as I prep for my senior cross country season. Oh my god, how am I going to be a senior already? It's literally insane. But I really want to show you guys some of that preparation and what a little bit of that work looks like. So today I want to do what I'm calling a STRAVA tour, but I want to tell you what I ran in the past week, and I want to give you a little bit of an overview of what a week in training with a meet looks like for me. So a little bit of context for what's going on in my life right now. I'm wrapping up school, doing finals. I ran last weekend, which is the week I'm going to be going over with you guys today. I ran at the association championships for Junior Olympics, and then I'm going to run at my regional championships tomorrow. You're gonna see this probably after those championships, so maybe I'll let you guys know in the caption or in the box down below how it goes. But yeah, so that was what was on my docket for last week, and just lots of training. Also, for context, I'm a steepler. At my association championships, I ran steeple and 400 hurdles. I'm running at the regional championships for steeple. And then I'm also obviously a distance runner, so getting ready for cross country and also getting ready for the Philadelphia Marathon. So there's just a lot going on, going in all different directions. So let's start off with Monday. And so usually Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I go to the gym, and Mondays and Fridays, I have a class. I do Metcon as a kind of High Rocks continuation. I ran a High Rocks in New York City. I absolutely loved it. I'm going to make a whole video about that, which should be up soon, but I'm keeping that going. I've especially found rowing, skiing, and wall balls super useful to build strength and endurance for running. So I had my Metcon session on Monday morning. We do like 5:30, so it's very hard for me to drag myself out of bed, but I managed. For this Metcon session, we did 1 minute on and 15 seconds off for intervals, and we did 4 times at each station, and then we switched, and then we did a whole bunch of stations. It was absolutely killer because we used super heavy weights. Specifically, the push presses that we were doing, I was doing like 10 pounds heavier than I normally do, which is a lot for push press, and I was dying, but it was really great. We also did what are they called? Man killers, I believe, where you do like push-ups to presses. Absolutely brutal. So I did that Monday morning, and then Monday afternoon, I just did kind of some easy hill work. It was more of like easy to a little bit moderate, but I tried to keep it pretty easy. I picked it up for like a couple of miles, but mostly it was moderate. I did 7 miles, just kind of easy to moderate pace, and I worked some hills in as well. We have a 7-mile loop, or it's a 6-mile loop, but I added some stuff on to make it 7. That's really hilly around my house, so I did that loop. The weather was absolutely beautiful. It was like so great, and I was just having like the joy of my life. Usually when I do like anything over 6 miles the day after a long run, I'll be feeling it. But that day I was actually feeling really good. So those were my workouts for Monday, and then obviously most evenings I will finish off my day with a stretching routine. My stretching routine is super simple. I literally have it posted on my wall right there. I just do V-sits, hurdler stretch, hip circles, toe touches, pull forwards, pull backs, some hip mobility, and then starfish stretch, which is just, that one's my favorite. So super easy, but I do that for just a couple minutes every night. And then in the morning, I obviously do a warm-up before Metcon usually, and then I do like a really quick warm-up usually before I run, especially in the easy run. I don't do too much of a warm-up, just like a couple minutes of stretching, and then I get right into it. Then for Tuesday, we just had a run, so I did it in the afternoon, and it was a workout. I did rolling 400s, so I did a 400 at about I did this was a pretty like meant to be a pretty easy workout, and I would say it pretty much was, because I was doing a 400 around 10K pace, and then a 400 a little slower than 5K pace, and then I repeated that for 5 reps, with then kind of a warm up and then an extended cool down, about a mile and a half for extended cool down. It felt pretty good. I did it on the track. Most of my workouts I'm doing on the track at this point. I'm going to migrate onto the roads and then onto the trails as we get closer to cross country season. But coming off of track and still having track meets, the tracks where I'm most comfortable doing my workouts. And then I finished off with about 30 minutes of steeple practice. I didn't do any like full runs. I just did barriers. Specifically, I was really focused on landings for this session because my landings are something that I literally always need to work on. So that was Tuesday. Then Wednesday, I did a workout. I don't have classes on Wednesdays, so I just did my own workout. Usually when I'm doing my own workouts, and again, I want to make a whole video about this, but usually when I'm doing my own workouts, I do 3 sections to the workout. The first section is some sort of machines, usually kind of more of like cardio. So it might be row, ski, bike, run, or a combination of all of them. Then section 2 is usually something with free weights. So just like kind of your basic, I keep it pretty simple in the gym: squats, lunges, snatches, presses, things like that. And then the third section is kind of where I vary it up a little bit more. This particular day, I was doing plyometrics for my third section. Sometimes I'll do machines, sometimes I'll just do more weights, but I'll do a different intensity, different things like that. Or sometimes I'll do a lower body and an upper body, or vice versa. Or I'll do like lower body and then core. But today I was doing plyo, so I started out with station 1. I did a 2,000-meter row. For station 2, I did 10 squat and presses, 20 single arm snatches. I love a single arm snatch, you guys. Like, it's one of my go-tos. 10 reverse lunge and curls, 20 Romanian deadlifts. And I know people love Romanian deadlifts for runners, which is why I keep trying to get myself into them. I just don't like them. Does anyone else just not like them? I feel like, okay, it could be because my form is bad, but I'm literally always watching my form, and that's the thing I feel like is why I don't like them, is because I'm always so stressed about form with them. And then 10 squat and front raises and 20 single leg deadlifts, and then I repeat that 3 times. And then for plyo, again, I keep it super, super simple: 20 single leg pogo jumps to a plate, 10 skater jumps, 20 box jumps. And then usually in the middle of any plyo circuits I do, because I don't build and rest to them, I just don't like to, because I like to work on that endurance aspect, I do something that's like not plyo, just so I can like catch my breath a little bit because I'm jumping around a lot. So for that today, on this day, I did 10 overhead plate lunges, and then 20 straight leg pogos and 10 burpee box jumps. Burpee box jumps, guys, if you're a high roxer, you know they're so painful, but like they work. They work. And then I did a 1-minute rest, and then I repeated that 3 times. So that was my set. It took like almost an hour. I do not think I was expecting it to take that long, because I was kind of huffing it to school after that. That was my last day of school before finals. But I made it and everything was well. And then that afternoon, I did another easy run. For this one, I went out and about. I live near a pretty nice, very beautiful and scenic bike trail that's by a body of water, and I really like to run there. So I went out and ran there. I did 6 miles, literally super easy, like the easiest ever. I always do super easy after I specifically do plyo because my legs are cooked. They're dead. So I just did 6 miles easy. And then on Thursday, no gym on Thursday, so just did a afternoon run. I did an easy run with a little bit of a progression, because it was my last run before the meet, because I decided to take a day. I usually like to take a day off before meets. I know this is controversial and this is a hot take of me, and if my coach was here, he'd probably yell at me, but before a meet, especially a track meet, I like to take a day off. I will go to the gym. I might do like a tiny bit of running in the gym, but I do not like to run the day before a meet. I just feel like I perform better when I don't. Like, I'll do some sort of exercise, just not running. So I always usually will do an easy run with a little bit of progression, or an easy run with a lot of strides after, and then rest day, and then like meet or race day. So that's what this was for me. So I did an easy run with a little bit of progression. I did about 4.5 miles. Just like not too much of a progression, honestly, even just like getting a little bit faster, kind of the last mile, picking up the legs a little bit. And I did a little bit of hills, but like nothing crazy because it was getting close to a meet at that point. And then for Friday morning, I had class. On Fridays, we do more of an endurance focus, which is actually usually perfect for me because usually Saturdays I have a meet or a race. So something that won't leave me super sore. We did a lot of wall balls specifically. I am getting to really like wall balls. Ever since my high rocks, I've become better acquainted with them. We have a better relationship now. But we did about 3 15-minute AMRAPs, and we were literally doing everything: wall balls, lunges, rows, skis, sled push, a little bit of everything. I kept it pretty easy because it was the day before a meet, but it was about 15 minutes of pretty constant hard work, and it was a good workout for before meet. Then for my meet day, I'll go through this. For my warm-up, I did 3/4 of a mile. Oh, and I forgot, also on Friday, I did a stretch and stability, which I do the run of stretch and stabilities. They're not my favorite, but I like that they put them on my calendar so that I'll actually do them. So that's basically why I do them. There's some on YouTube that I would say are probably better, but I don't know. I feel like stretch and stability and like mobility type of things are just so personal, where you have to try different things and kind of see what you like. So, but for my meet day, it was a Saturday meet, and like I said, steeple and hurdles. So for my warm up, we got there a little bit on the later side. So I did 3/4 of a mile. Usually I do at least a mile. I'll do either a mile or a 2 kilometer warm up. But because it was a little bit later, I didn't, and then I just did some extra strides, some extra stretching, because then they were getting people on the track and there really wasn't another good place to run. So I did I'll do a couple of strides and then stretches. I do my stretches all dynamic track style, just walking back and forth usually before a meet or a race. And then I got right into my steeple. I actually ran a big PR. I ran 8:24, which I was so happy about. Especially because I was kind of out on my own the whole time. It was basically like kind of a time trial for me, but it was really great. I had really, really good steeples. My water dumps were okay. The landings were not great. The takeoffs were decent. But all my other steeples were like really good. And then in the 400 hurdles, I also hit a PR, which I was so surprised about because my PR was from 9th grade, because at one of my meets in 9th grade, one of our invitationals, they only put 9 hurdles on the track and they never noticed. And so all of our times ended up counting because they never noticed. I ran a 1:22. Is that chopped and rolled? Yes, but guys, I'm a distance runner. Like, I truly cannot. And this was also kind of more of a time trial race for me. But I got out there and did some really good efforts, so I was really proud of that. And then for my cool down, I did about 2K cool down, which is usually what I'll do. I usually cool downs minimum of 2K to 3K cool downs usually. Don't know why I always think in kilometers on meet days. I think it's just something with the track. It does it to me. But I did my cool down. Whenever I'm doing a cool down after track meet, it's always how many laps around the school is 2 or 3K. Like, I know the outside of a lot of different schools because of that. Actually, during school season, I will get made fun of by my coach because he'll be like, "Where's Ari? She's probably like running around the school in a field dead." I don't know. We don't know. We never see her. Which, yeah, I mean, it's true, to be honest, so I can't even be mad. So yeah, and then, so I actually did one additional work out in the gym this week because I was busy this Monday, so I did my workout on Sunday. For this one, I did a 500-meter row and a 500-meter ski for my warm-up, and then repeated that twice. And then I did a little bit of work in the captain's chair with core, doing crunches, leg lifts, marches, all of that good stuff with 1 minute rest in between. And then I did a little bit more of your typical gym stuff for me. I did goblet squats, kneeling thrusters, which I actually really liked. I'd never done those before. I tried them for the first time. It was like a good mix of like something that definitely wasn't like overly challenging, but you definitely felt it working, which I like exercises that are in that sweet spot. And then 10 push-ups, 20 fire hydrants, and 10 burpee squat jumps, because I'll just do any variation of a burpee. Like, Hyrox has done that to me. I will literally do anything if you put a burpee in front of it. I swear to God. So I did that in the morning, and then in the afternoon I was the solstice, so I did a 21 by 21 by 21 run, which I saw on TikTok, the 21st day, 21K, so half marathon at 2100 hours, so 9 p.m. We did not start at 9 p.m. We ran like from like 7:30 to like a little after 9. But I actually ran a pretty decent pace. I did about 2 hours for the half marathon. And it was really beautiful. We went to another really nice trail around us. It was super buggy because we did not wear bug spray and the sun was setting, so it got very, very buggy. I tried a new fueling plan. I kind of try a lot of new fueling plans. That's part of my marathon training, is trying a bunch of new fueling plans. I didn't love it. One of the fuels that I used, it was like there was like powdered sugar on like these little like gummies, which I don't know why I thought I could do gummies. Like, I was like suffocating myself trying to eat them. But then also there was like this powder on them, and it got so sticky and it got everywhere, and I was like, ugh, this is so gross. But it was really fun to get out and do it at night. I was wearing my light up vest. It was like a very lame rave where they also only play Noah Kahan music, because that was my playlist for this run. But it was really fun. We had a great time. And yeah, that was the end of my week. My total mileage was about 40 miles, which I would say was like pretty typical. I'm trying to work it up a little bit, ramp things up a little bit, but like not too much. I'm pretty happy with where my mileage is at. I'm mainly working on like really honing those gym sessions. I want to get on the bike a little bit this summer. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys, share what I've been doing. I hope you enjoyed my STRAVA tour. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what you've been doing recently, whether that's the roads, the trails, the tracks, the gyms, whatever. Let me know. I want to hear about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.